Linebackers. Drew's pretty excited about this one. I'm actually pretty excited about this one too. I know he's going to be excited about this one. I know he is. He's going to be too excited about this one, I think. Honorable mentions.
Who you got?
I have Bobby Okereke and I have Blake Cashman. You have either one of those guys?
You have Bobby as an honorable mention, huh? Oh boy. Okay. Maybe I'm way off. My honorable mentions are Patrick Queen.
Yep.
Did you rank him?
I did not.
I was gonna say because he was bad for Pittsburgh last year.
Yeah, he's dog shit. No, absolutely not.
I think he's gonna bounce back. But all right, who you got at number 10?
Jack Campbell. Career year last year at linebacker spot. I think he built off of it a little bit. I think he's a Detroit Lion, so I think he has that attitude and he has that type of play style they want. So I think he's going to continue to build and continue to grow. So I think he can kind of slide himself into that 10 spot.
This is why I'm so excited about these rankings, because I think we're going to say all the same names. We're just going to be nowhere close on them.
Okay.
So at number 10, with so much excitement to talk about this guy falling off the cliff finally. That being said, still in the top 10, because how much of a fall could it possibly be? I got Bobby Wagner.
Wow, okay. I mean, he didn't really fall off a cliff.
No, he was like a top 5 linebacker last year, so I'm saying he's going to get worse because he's 56.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's fair. No, absolutely. I just, goddamn, man, like, he just lead the league in tackles like 2 years ago, and then he gets graded very well last year, and he's in my top 10, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, Bobby Wagner.
Absolutely.
You know what's going to suck this year? Matt Stafford.
I don't have him in the top 10, so that's okay. Number 9, Edwin Cooper. I knew that one. Yeah, man. As soon as he got the starting role out in Green Bay, he kind of took off from there. At first, it was just snaps, and he showed small flashes, but a lot of struggle. A lot of the same stuff that we would see in college, just play recognition. He's a missile coming from that second level, but it was the play recognition and really being able to slow the game down for him. Once he got the starting full-time role, is the perfect time is when he actually was able to grasp the game itself. And he's able to use that speed to full ability, and he seems pretty comfortable in his role. So I think he's going to be inside that top 10 for sure.
Yeah, I think Edwin Cooper is a hell of a linebacker, and my team knows linebackers. So, and he had that hamstring injury last year, and he still had a great season. So, at number 9, my dog, big play Dre Greenlaw.
Okay, yep. I was so nervous because the tear, what was it, the quad tear, whatever it was, the pec tear, I forgot what it was exactly, but it was reported that he was going to be out for like the whole season. And then it was like, okay, calm down. It actually turned out to be some San Francisco beat writers that were putting that out. And then the reports came out literally a couple hours later saying it's not, he's going to miss like a couple of weeks. He's going to be perfectly fine. So I was a little nervous, and it sucks. I felt bad for the guy, but thank God he's actually going to play this year.
Dre Greenlaw was a fan favorite, a team favorite, and a media favorite. So I think when the media in San Francisco heard that he got hurt, they really just jumped into this really sucks for him coming off of the Achilles, and now he's out. So it did get blown up a lot. But this is now a couple of injuries in a row. He got injured when he came back to the field last year. He's now injured in OTAs and all that stuff. So it's just, but that being said.
That's your 9 or 8?
Number 9.
Okay. Who's your 8?
Nick Bolton.
Nick Bolton is my number 8. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I wanted the Cowboys to make a run at this guy in free agency because I really wanted him. I think he's super talented with a talented linebacker core, with Leo Chanel as well. So I don't think he has to be 1,000% the guy, but he's still super talented enough to be inside that top 10 with help as well. So I love Nick Bolton. I think 8 is great.
Who'd you got at 7?
Dre Greenlaw. This is where I put him.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just about how does the recovery process look for him? Obviously, being explosive was huge for him. If he can get back to that type of form for the Broncos, which they'll find a role for the guy. Even if he's not as explosive, they'll find something for him because the defense was just that good. and a lot of guys played their role. They did their job, and that defense excelled because of it, right? You had a bunch of guys who were 10-plus sack guys who never were. What's the dude's name? Zach something. I forget what his name is, edge rusher out there. And then Nick Bonito, both 10-plus sack guys. So, and that's because of the scheme and what they're doing. So I think he's going to be successful because they're going to find a role for him to play.
I got Devin Lloyd at number 7.
Okay. We both have Lloyd not here at 7, but we both have him in the top 10. He's definitely there. For me, I mean, Lloyd's been talented since he's come into the league, man. Ever since he stepped foot in, he's been one of the best tackling linebackers in there. For me, that's why I rank him a little bit higher than that. That's your 7?
Yeah, so I still have a guy that you left off your list coming here, so I'm interested to see who we're missing. Here's my thing with Devin Lloyd. You know, the Jaguars didn't pick up his 5th-year option. So it's just like, what do they know that I don't know? It's kind of the way I looked at this, but he's been really good, and I think he'll continue to be really good. So,
especially since the other linebacker out there, Olakun, ended up kind of falling off a cliff a little bit during the season. He ended up still performing. Again, one of the best tackling linebackers in the league year over year since he's come in. So he's still performing. It's not about the help around him. He's still just that good. I'm also curious to see if you have this guy on the list. He was really good, and I think he could build off of that. Frankie Luvu is my number 6 linebacker.
That's really high.
That is really high.
Here's my thing with Frankie Luvu. I didn't rank him.
Okay.
And I think it was because I was so hyped for him last year, and then he was just kind of,
I mean, I guess depending on how, because for me, I thought Frankie was really good, but I didn't have insane expectations for him. I wanted him to be solid, and he was really good. He's a dog. So, I mean, I could see that expectation.
He's gotten worse every year in the run defense metrics, and I'm just used to my middle linebackers laying the boom when it comes to run defense. So
sure, right.
So that's interesting. Maybe that makes up for the spot that I have this guy ranked, is I didn't have Frankie Luvu. So at number 6, I have the aforementioned Edwin Cooper.
Okay.
I
mean, I get it, man. We already talked about Cooper, but that was one of your guys, so having him a little bit higher definitely makes sense. Ever since the draft process, that was your dude for sure. Devin Lloyd.
Oh, okay.
Yep, already kind of hit the points on there. You know, one of the best tackling linebackers in the league for sure. He's been good, and I think he's just going to continue to be better. Especially when the defense is getting better too. You add elite level corners. I think he's going to be better.
So this dude had an okay rookie season. He has a really good sophomore season. And if he takes the next step forward, he's a top 5 linebacker in the NFL. I think he's going to take the next step forward. So at number 5, I have Jack Campbell.
Oh, I totally forgot that, because you were like, oh, we're going to have a lot of the same guys, just different spots. 5. I mean,
because you still have Bobby Wagner coming, right?
I do have Bobby Wagner. He's at 4.
Yeah.
So he's right there. Yeah, I thought maybe I struggled with Bobby, between Bobby and Jack a little bit at 10. And then I was like, no, I got to put Jack Campbell. And I'm like, he's just going to be good this year, dude. I'm telling you, he's just going to be there. I get it. I'm right there with you when it comes to the linebacking core for them. Before I got Bobby Wagner, he's been good, continues to be good. I think he's going to just continue to put up the similar type production. I wouldn't be surprised to see him kind of, I would be more surprised to see him fall off a cliff completely than to just retire and just call it, before he's washed completely. So top 4 still for me.
So you have Bobby at 4.
I do.
I too have Bobby at 4.
Okereke.
I just have the New York Giants Bobby at 4.
Okay.
Here's the reason for this, because I know you have him unranked. If you strip away New York Giants, like just diffuse that from your brain,
sure,
and just think Abdul Carter, Lawrence, Brian Burns, Tyler Nubin, Bobby. That defense looks like it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately for them, Malik Neighbors is not going to be able to score 35 points a game himself, so they're going to probably lose a bunch of games.
Yeah.
But I don't actually hate the defense. And the more talented the defense is, it's going to raise the tide of all boats. And so I just think he could have a huge year this year.
Okay. Yeah, I get the understanding of the thought process. It was, yeah.
This top three should be easy.
Yeah, maybe it's the order is maybe a little different depending on where you have one guy.
All right, well then let's just get the easy one out of the way. Who you got at number one?
I was trying to make it.
Don't you dare disrespect that man. Say the words, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's Fred Warner. Of course, it's Fred Warner. There hasn't been a better linebacker in football in forever. I have Roquan at 2.
Me too.
And Bond at 3. Okay, cool. Okay. You look at a lot of lists. After I made all of my lists, I wanted to see where a lot of places had theirs. A lot of places have Bond at 2 or at 1 even. I think a guy that blows up out of nowhere and is arguably the best linebacker in the league is for 1 year could be called questionable after being handed a contract. Can still be incredibly talented, especially staying on the same team. If he went somewhere else, I would have him lower, honestly. But I think the Eagles with the line and everyone there, I think gives him the best opportunity to repeat. But 3, Roquan had a little bit of a down year, but he had a better second half of the year when Kyle Hamilton was moved back to the safety spot, and he ended up performing a little bit better. So that's my line of thinking, 2 versus 3. And then obviously Fred should be the undisputed 1.
I think it's funny that after our fireworks for the quarterbacks, it's all been kind of...
Isn't it always like this, though? Isn't it always been like this through whatever process?